So, welcome to Traveling with a Chair and Monday Night Live. Today, I've got with me Jeffery Bailey Johnson, who is with Roatan Fun Tours. I'll put that up so you can see. Um, Hopefully, I did. Well, let me try again here. Trying to get it up. All destinations. Well, there it is. Okay. I was fighting with it, so that way you guys know the name of his company. We're going to talk today about what to do in Roatan. Now, I was in Roatan on the breakaway last year, and I enjoyed Roatan immensely. In fact, it might have been my favorite island. We got to do some pretty unique things. But to start with, Jeffery, what do you recommend for somebody this is their first time to Roatan? What do you think the best things for them to try to see are?
Okay, for first-time cruisers, Roatan. When you come to Roatan, it's all about the sun, the beach, and our ocean. Roatan is among the top best beaches in the world. So a lot of people that comes to experience our beautiful beaches. But us, what we like to do for first-time cruisers, our first time somebody that is visiting the island is take them to really see the true culture of Roatan. Take them to our main towns. We have high points where you guys can take beautiful pictures. Also, our tours are all private customized tours, so they have like their own private guide and driver for the day. And our main thing is, to show them an awesome time.
Okay. So now, let me ask you about a couple of things that we did, because
Hmm.
we had a private driver or somebody kind of a friend of a friend that took us last time, and so
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you the things that we did. We did Monkey and Sloth Farm.
All right.
Yeah, and to me
Uh,
that was maybe the highlight of the trip was getting to hold the. They had a baby sloth and it wanted to cuddle so I thought that was pretty amazing. And we went into with
mhm.
in with the monkeys and got to feed them, and it was pretty fun watching my wife as she was a little surprised at first when they climbed on her, and then she got where she really enjoyed it as well. Then
Mhm.
we did the rum factory or the rum cake factory
Mhm.
up on top of the hill,
Mhm.
and we did
Yes, sir.
I did the chocolate factory, and we did the cameo factory. So
Mhm.
of those, now I know, like I said, I'm really
Yes, sir.
prejudiced. I think that anybody that goes to Roatan and doesn't get a chance to run into the monkeys and the sloths, that's they've missed something there. In a typical stop, is that something that you could combine like with beach day and get in to see them or to do something like that?
Yeah. Right now, our most highly booked tour right now is the Monkeys and Slots. People love to see those monkeys and slots. It's like like you said, it's their highlight of their cruise. Most of the people, I mean, they're not actually worrying about anything else. They're worrying about seeing those monkeys and slots. So we have a combination of tour right now where we take our guests to see the monkeys and slots, chocolate factory, rusty fish recycle, and we do the rum factory, and we also give them opportunity of doing a beach break.
Okay, so that sounds like a lot of fun. For somebody that's coming back to Rotan, they've been there maybe a couple of times, they've done the monkeys and they've done the beaches. What are some of the other things that you think are good choices for people to do?
Well, for guests that's returning, then we do the East Side Adventure. We bring you to the East Side where we have like the pirate boat where you can take beautiful pictures. We take you through the local village, which is Punta Gorda, which is the native people of the island, which is the Garifunas. Also, we take you to do the mangrove tunnels. The mangrove tunnel is like the highlight of the east side of the island, where you embark a water taxi, and it takes you up through all of the little local towns, where you can see how the locals live right on the edge of the water, where the house is built up high on stilts, and you get the opportunity of driving through our in the water taxi in our through the mangroves.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun as well. Um, for people that have mobility challenges, like my wife normally travels with a wheelchair. Now, when we went to the chocolate factory, she was able, holding on to both rails, to climb up the steps, because the chocolate factory is definitely not an accessible type of location. It's up a full flight of steps and a few steps to get to the
Mhm.
bottom floor. But other than that, what are the things that are easy for somebody with a wheelchair or a walker to be able to go and see and do when they're in Roatan?
All right. Well, first of all, like I explained, our tours are all customized. So our driver is actually the handyman for the day. You know, such as people with mobility issues. What we normally do is the driver normally helps you out in every location you go in. So besides him just being your driver and guide, he helps you if you needed to take out the wheelchair. He helps you put it back in the car, such as when you get to different location. He will help you go in and out. Basically, in all of the areas here, you normally you're gonna have to do a little bit of walking, but it's not that much. But most of our tours that we do, like the rum factory, is very easy to access. We have two chocolate factory on the island. There's one that they have stairs and stuff. So that one we normally take you to. The other one we don't have like stairs, so it's more easier for you to access getting in and getting out.
So we did it the hard way then.
Yeah.
Well, and the friend that took us was not really a guide, so I just
Mhm.
had some ideas from a guidebook of things we wanted to see. I know there's if let me ask this differently. I think there are three different monkey and sloth adventures there, right?
Yes, sir. We have a few of them.
Okay, so are some of them better for people with a walker and a wheelchair than others?
Mostly all of them is not much like a hassle and tassel to get around the parks. But what we normally like to do is, depending on how many cruises is in that day, we try to keep communication between all of us as guide. That way, we try to take our guests to the park with least action. That way, our guest gets to have a better experience than going to one of the parks where it's like crowded and have to wait a lot. So we try to take our guests to the park with less people. That way, they can enjoy before all of the big groups get there.
Okay, yeah, and we were fortunate. We were there on a day that rained really hard about a little before lunch. And I mean, it rained hard.
Okay.
And so I think that may have deterred some of the people. By the time we got over to the Monkey and Sloth adventure that we went to, I think that, things had pretty well, it had stopped raining, might have been drizzling a little bit, but the ground was wet. So in this case, my wife just leaned on me rather than trying to, because she has a wheelchair with little narrow tires, and so they don't wheel so good. And so we went that.
Yes, sir.
On your vehicles, are they set up so that you can take care of transporting like a wheelchair or a scooter?
Yeah. What we normally do is we normally use depends on the amount of people. We can do groups of anything from two to big groups that be like 28 to 30 people, because the vans that we have is either from 2 seaters to 30 seaters. So in smaller groups we normally use like minivans. So the minivans are really easy to get in and out, and the trunks of the vans are really big. So it's very easy for you to put like a scooter in the back there or a wheelchair, taking it in and out.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. Now, let me ask you a question. What is it that people should see in Roatan that they typically don't go see? Because I know what it's like to live somewhere where it's a touristy area and everybody sees all of the tourist stuff, but they may not really get a real sense of what it's like. So if you had to take somebody and pick your three favorite spots, what would your 3 favorite spots on Roatan be?
I would say if you're the type of person that don't like a lot of like you want to be somewhere more with less noise, I'll say the east side of the island. It's more unique. It's more unique, and you get to see like the true culture. So the west side of the island is more developed than the east side.
Okay.
So the east side is more culture.
Okay. And on the east side of the island, is there good snorkeling too, or is that is the west side better, or which one's better for snorkeling? And
Yeah. Anywhere on the island that you snorkel is awesome. So it depends on the area that you are actually visiting. We
okay.
have the second largest coral reef in the world after Australia. So anywhere you snorkel on Roatan, you're gonna have an awesome time.
Okay, you're making me wanted to come back. And actually, there's a good chance that we're going to be back this year. I'm kind of watching the cruise prices
Uh-huh.
for a deal to get really cheap, and then I think my wife and I are going to book. The only
Right.
question about it is I know we're going to take a cruise, but there's a Southern Caribbean that looks pretty interesting because we've never been to the Southern Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
But the other one that we're looking at is going back because we were on the breakaway last year. This year it's the getaway that's sailing out of New Orleans, sailing the same itinerary. So
Okay. Okay.
if I tell you what I will do is if we get a chance to come back, we will hook up with you and you can show us your
Yeah,
island.
definitely. I'm the man with the plan.
Okay, well, listen. Thanks for joining. Why don't you hang around for a minute while I wrap up, and then we'll chat for just a second. I appreciate you being with me today, Jeffrey. You've been a great guest. Hopefully, the audience. Oh, and let me just check and see. I don't see any questions, so I guess we're okay because we do have some actual people watching live. And let me do this. If anybody has a question, now would be the time to type it in. Because we have Jeffrey while we're still live on the air. If you
Mhm.
got a question, go ahead and shoot it at us. Because he's the man that knows all the answers.
Yeah. Definitely. Also, I want to throw something out there for all of our cruise lovers, friends that books a tour. They will be getting a 10% discount on all of our tours. Okay.
Okay, very good. I was supposed to ask about that and I forgot. So anybody that's a cruise lover can identify yourselves to them and you get a 10% discount, which is a good deal as well. I want to thank everybody for
Yeah.
watching. Like I said, hang around, Jeffrey. Next week, we're going to have another good show on Monday night. It's up on the calendar on travelingwiththechair.com, so you can see it there. There'll be a link in the description, both on Facebook and on YouTube, so that you can find information about Roatan Fun Tours. There's also some other links to my YouTube channel and a couple of free travel guides I have. So there's a bunch of free stuff. Just take time to click on the links. I think you'll find it worth your time. It's nice to have everybody with us, and we'll see you on Monday.